because by God, I love this kind of filth that is being, the shade that's being thrown at the CEOs, the filth that they're fucking spitting out of their goddamn mouths. Here is the CEO of Ford, who went on TV to say that the UAW's demands would bankrupt the company. He provided no evidence and failed to say he makes $21 million and also oversees billions in stock buybacks. He also said the union gave him no counterproposal for the last 2 weeks, which is a lie. Let's take a look.
Quickly put in some perspective. The offer that they have, what they're demanding relative to where you are right now, how much damage would that do to the bottom line if you were to say, sure, we'll give you 40%?
If we signed up for the UAW's request, instead of making money and distributing $75,000 in profit sharing in the last 10 years, we would have lost $15 billion and gone bankrupt by now.
$75,000 in profit sharing in the last 10 years? The fuck is my man saying right now? Oh, dude, damn, you would have lost fucking profits? That's crazy. That sucks, dude. Of course, he's on CNBC, so he can say that because the people that are watching this interview are the shareholders, you know, the people who have stock, the people who have at least like a genuine stake in the company, not the fucking silly stakeholders in the form of workers.
$1 and gone bankrupt by now. The average pay would be nearly $300,000 fully fringed for a 4-day work week. There is no way.
Per employee, per UAW employee.
Yeah, this is our fully tenured school teacher in the U.S. makes $66,000. Someone from the military or firemen.
I love when a CEO goes on national news and is like, you know, these guys, they're already getting paid too much. It's like, hey, cocksucker, what about you? How much? What is your pay? Like, they're the ones who are building the fucking Bronco that you're sitting in front of, you asshole. How many fucking Broncos have you built? How many assembly lines have you actually sat on? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you saying? It's like, oh, these guys, they're asking for too much. They're asking for too much. Teachers don't make that much. Teachers make $66,000. By the way, on what planet? Where? He's out of his fucking mind. He's like, yeah, the real greed coming from the workers that are assembling all the fucking products that we're selling, the real value that they're generating that I steal from them. Oh, it's really fucked up. Okay? But love when he says, teachers, what do they make, like $66,000? Where? How many fucking years have they been teaching? Where? In which market? Get the fuck out of here. Okay? 1, totally different sector. 2, they should be paid more as well. You're against that too, you fucking piece of shit. Shut the fuck up.
It makes mid $50,000. This is 4 or 5 times, 6 times what they make. There's no way we can be sustainable as a company. That's why we put our proposal in 2 weeks ago to say, look, you want us to choose bankruptcy over supporting our workers? Here's our proposal. Let's work through this.
Yeah, it was bullshit. So first of all, they didn't actually offer a counter proposal. He says the union gave him no counter proposal. That's a lie. You know who didn't actually offer a counter proposal? These fucking assholes. These shitbags held this up until last week. And the UAW literally had to file a grievance with the NLRB to force them to the fucking table. Okay? So the idea that like the union didn't offer us counter proposals, fucking bullshit. He's just lying. Okay? Just straight up fucking lying. Insane. He said they would lose $15 billion with the proposal, but they made $23 billion in profit and almost $200 billion in revenue last year. Am I misunderstanding, or is he just lying? Yes, of course he's lying. And he's on CNBC, so CNBC, sorry. CNBC, I think, is in Turkey. So he's not going to get any pushback. But here's a fucking CEO who did actually get some pushback. Let's watch this full interview, actually, because it was fucking awesome.
Sirkevich is lying.
Very resilient, and I want to recognize them because our manufacturing team, along with the engineering team, for the last 2 years has been #1 in JD Power.
This is the one, right? This is the one where she goes, oh, wait, hold on. I missed it. This was a really good question. I'm sorry.
GM headquarters with Mary Barra, who is
I have to run it
speaking
again.
to us about the latest developments on the strike today. Thank you so much for being here. GM and the union could not come to an agreement before the midnight deadline. Why is that? Well, I think that's a question you probably need to ask the UAW because we have a very compelling offer on the table. I'm very...
Bullshit. Poop on your own time? Luckily, I have a, union-mandated pee break where I can easily get up and pee whenever the fuck I want. And there's precisely nothing you can say about it. You're very handsome. Aw, thank you.
Frustrated because I think we had an offer that resonates with our people. It's a historic offer. Gross wage increases of 20% that compound to 21%, maintaining world-class health care. There's several aspects as well. But I think one thing that's most important is job security. And, we're in an incredibly exciting time in this industry right now as we make the transformation from internal combustion engine.
Yeah, it's an incredibly exciting time in this industry for you. I'd be excited, too, if my company's profits were like unimaginably, astronomically large, and my compensation was directly tied to the company performance, the company profits specifically, okay? I'd be like, oh, dude, it's so exciting. Like, every single ghoulish fucking CEO that you see on national television right now, on network television, every single one of them is making like 20 mil, 30 mil. Your tweet on Jim Cramer, it's coming through. It's happening. I told you. Inverse Cramer, baby. He literally said paper tiger to Sean Fain. Said he's not going to follow up. Said that they were going to said that they were not going to follow up. Said that his leverage wasn't there. Said that these factories could magically move to Puebla. But to be fair, he was drunk out of his fucking mind.
Vehicles to electric vehicles, and General Motors is well poised. We have a pipeline coming, and so when we look at that and we look at how this could, delay that, it's at a critical juncture. So we have a deal that I think is very, very important. That proposal sits at the table. Our team is ready to be at the table again. They're waiting, and we need to get back. We need the UAW leadership to get back to the table, get these issues resolved, so we can get people back to work.
The UAW also struck against GM in 2019, so 2 strikes in 4 years. What do you think you're getting wrong?
Well, I think each of those are very different, and I think, 19 had its whole set of issues, very different. It take a long time to go through all of that. But if you look at where we are right now, we understand the world has changed. And that's why we put a historic offer on the table with the increases. I think our manufacturing team is the best on the field. The way they managed through the COVID situation and continue to build cars, trucks, and crossover, the way that we managed and they, moved with us as we went through the semiconductor shortage and still the supply challenges that we see today. They're very resilient. And I want to recognize them because our manufacturing team, along with the engineering team, for the last 2 years has been...
I love when they say this stuff because it's like the same energy as we're a family. And it's like, man, if you fucking care about them, okay, if you care about your manufacturing plant workers, then why don't you care about them enough to fucking pay them? You know what I mean? Like, you don't care about them. It's fucking bullshit, okay? Let me get a little bit deeper into the nitty-gritty here so you guys have a better understanding of exactly what the fuck is going on. Now, this is already a leftist community, so we are already under the assumption, at least for the most part, that the capitalist dogma surrounding workers' relations to the means of production and profit is pretty horrific at this point, and that workers and their performance and the amount of profits that the company generates is created by the antagonistic relationship between people like her who get literally paid on their performance on how low they can keep the wages. And if you want to understand the impact of this reality, if you want to see what it's like, truly what it's like, here is Jeff Shirky, labor historian, journalist, unionist, assistant professor at SUNY Empire Labor. Here's a graph that shows perfectly what the situation looks like. Now, over the last 4 years in the big three, Ford, GM, and Stellantis, the labor cost per vehicle has only increased by 4 to 5%. Okay, that means that the average worker's salaries across the board has only gone up 4 to 5%. The UAW top wage rate has gone up by 6%. Okay? Inflation, on the other hand, has gone up by 20%. Now, that means that the average fucking worker actually got a 15% pay cut, because if inflation is going up by 20%, that means, and your salary is not tied to COLA, cost of living adjustments, that means that you actually got a 15% pay cut. Okay, so just understand how that works with inflation. Now, on the other hand, on the other side, car prices have actually gone up more than the inflation has gone up. The average prices of a car has gone up by 34%. So where is this going? If the North American profits went up by 65% in this entire time, where is the money going? Well, the money's going somewhere that you can kind of see on this graph here, on this chart, on this whatever cool, fun little graphic that they made. It's going to stock buybacks, which went up by 1,500%. Because that's how this works. Workers generate the value. Bosses keep their labor cost per vehicle as low as possible. Okay? And then they turn around and take that cash, profits that they have accumulated off of basically underpaying all the workers, what their actual productive labor value is, okay? And then they engage in stock buybacks. For those of you who don't know, stock buybacks used to be illegal. Shouts out to Ronald Reagan, who made them legal, for the record. Stock buybacks are a way to consolidate stocks that are out in the marketplace by engaging in artificial stock manipulation. It's normally market manipulation. Used to be illegal. Ronald Reagan made it legal, for those of you who don't know, okay? This used to be illegal. It's when your company decides to take the profits and then feed all of that money back into the company to artificially boost its price, because now, oh my God, people are purchasing the fucking stocks. Who's purchasing the stocks? Not random people in the marketplace because of the company performance, but actually people, actually the board itself, okay? Consolidating stocks by repurchasing the stocks that are out there. Do you understand? This has a way to artificially boost the stock prices. Now, there are many different ways in which companies already engage, not just in stock buybacks, but companies already engage in boosting their stock prices that don't necessarily translate a real market fundamental that's supposed to be represented there. Mergers and acquisitions is another way. Vertical and horizontal expansion, vertical and horizontal integration is another way. These are all efforts to monopolize a certain sector. Okay? This does not mean that they have the newest product or the coolest product per se. It just means that they are doing financial trickery, or rather doing things that is overall vibes-based in our speculative economy that make the stock look good. Now, there's another part of this that I did not mention to you, the CEO pay. Because the CEO pay in this same process went up by almost 10 times the labor cost per vehicle. Because the CEO pay went up by 40%, because it's directly tied to this exact fucked up graphic that you're looking at. CEO pay and CEO compensation, board compensation in general, is directly tied to stocks, okay? Stock performance. That's what, when they say our performance is our performance is tremendous, they're talking about stocks. It doesn't mean that the workers are getting paid better. It doesn't mean that they have a cool new product that they launched. In many instances, it has nothing to do with that at all, okay? It doesn't mean that they have this incredible technology that no one else has. It just means that the CEO is doing a very good job keeping the fucking labor prices low and boosting or artificially inflating the stock prices by engaging in stock buybacks. Okay? Another aspect of this story, of course, is the board compensation being directly tied to your stock, which is a way beyond the fiduciary responsibility that legally holds them accountable to ensure that they're maximizing shareholder value. The other reason is that the other reason why CEO compensation is so ginormous is because when they engage in stock buybacks and artificially boost stock prices, they also benefit from it. They also
our quality. So we have a very talented team. We've put a historic offer on the table, and so that's why I'm so disappointed and frustrated.
The union is demanding, asking for a 40% wage increase over 4 years. They're asking for that in part because they say CEOs like yourself, leading the big three, are making those kind of pay increases over the course of the last 4 years. You've seen a 34% pay increase in your salary. You make almost...
I'm sorry. This shit gets my dick hard, okay? When I see a fucking CNN anchor straight up be like, so what's up? You got a 34% increase in your salary. What's going on with that? I'm sorry. That shit gets my dick hard, dude. That shit is fucking what? The fuck's going on, dude? The fuck's happening, dude? This shit is crazy. Really?
Almost $30 million. Why should your workers not get the same type of pay increases that you're getting leading the company?
At that point, just literally take out a fucking gun and shoot her in the head, okay? Because you figuratively did that, okay? Like, this person has not been asked that question ever in her life. Not on CNN, especially. But that's crazy. A question that she probably has never really even thought about. Let's take a look at what she said.
Well, if you look at compensation, my compensation, 92% of it is based.
Let's not pretend she wasn't expecting that question. It doesn't matter. Because let me tell you something. Even if she's expecting that question, there is no reality where she can talk her way out of it. Okay? That question should never come up. You can prepare yourself against that question, knowing full well that someone will fucking ask it, but it doesn't matter, okay? Because let's see what her fucking answer is to the compensation question.
Well, if you look at compensation, my compensation, 92% of it is based on performance of the company. I think one of the strong aspects of the way our compensation for our represented employees is designed is not only are we putting a 20% increase on the table, we have profit sharing. So when...
Yeah, she says it's performance-based. Her entire performance demands that she keep wages low. That's it. Make no mistake, chat. It's keep wages low and take the fucking extra profits that you've accumulated and engage in stock buybacks. That's the reason why her salary's up 34 fucking %. That's it. That's the Sigma grind set, baby. That's it. And obviously, I try to describe it on like, very, like, I try to describe it in not academic terms, but in layman terms all the fucking time. But this is a demonstration of this is a demonstration of dialectical materialism. This is a demonstration of Marxian econ right in front of your fucking eyes. Class antagonism at the heart of capitalism is perfectly demonstrated in that singular conversation that we're having, where she goes, my salary is tied, my compensation is fucking tied to the stock performance, to the performance of the company. She can try to hide it. She can try to mask it as best as possible. But the reality is, you ain't out there fucking putting the bumpers on the cars, okay? You're not out there. You're not the best fucking worker who's just like, slapping shit up on the assembly line. You're not doing any of that. Workers are, and your entire job performance specifically is analyzed on how hard you can make those motherfuckers working down there suffer and see less of the value that they're generating. That's it.
When the company does well, everyone does well. And for the last several years, that's resulted in record profit sharing for our represented employees. And I think you have to look at the whole compensation.
I love this too. Our record profit sharing for our representative employees. Okay. Great. How about you share the profit, which is what they're exactly asking for right now, in the way that they're asking for? Why are you not listening to the employees? Because the employees got together and they created what is known as a union. And then the union went and fucking elected representation to represent them on their behalf, to sit across from you at the table and say, hey, nice profits you got there. We made it. We built it. We are the reasons why you have it. Can we have some of it back? There would be no strike if what you are saying was adequate. There would be no strike whatsoever if they were happy, okay? Because at the end of the day, as Joe Brandon also expertly put, nobody wants to strike. Employees don't want to fucking strike. They don't want it. Nobody wants it. It's not real. The only people that want it are people in this community who aren't fucking working there, okay? That's why they're like, oh, strike, it's sick.
Not only 20% increase in gross wage, but also the profit sharing aspect of it, world-class health care, and there's several other features. So we think we have a very competitive offer on the table, and that's why we want to get back there and get this done.
But if you're getting a 34% pay increase over 4 years and you're offering 20% to employees right now, do you think that's fair?
Well, I think when you look at the overall structure and
Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, fuck, that was so sick.
Increase over 4 years.
back there and get this done.
But if you're getting a 34% pay increase over 4 years and you're offering 20% to employees right now, do you think that's fair?
Well, I think when you look at the overall structure and the fact that 92% is based on performance, and you look at what we've been doing of sharing in the profitability when the
She had to go back to the performance, 92% performance. It's like, what is your performance? I want someone to ask, so what do you mean? Like, what do you tell your shareholders in a quarterly earnings report that you did so well? I know because this is public. Let me read. And then just pull out quotes where they are specifically talking about how the labor value per vehicle cost has been kept low. And just turn around and go, what do you mean by this? What do you mean? What do you mean when you say, your performance has been adequate because you have kept the labor cost per vehicle to 5%? It says right here on the fucking report. You said this to your shareholders. You said this at a board meeting. So what do you mean by that? Isn't that, who's making what is the labor part of this? What is the labor cost? Who's making the vehicles? Is it the workers that are currently sitting across on the table from you asking for a higher percentage of the profits? Is that what's going on there?
the company does well, I think
groceries and also pee. There is something that she said over here that, like, I'm sorry, I have to go back to the the GM bankruptcy.
In case
the GM bankruptcy bailout.
and that's actually the best work.
I spoke to your counterpart, Jim Farley, CEO of Ford, and
Wait, even further back? Hold on.
Was bailed out by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Workers made concessions to keep their jobs, to keep the company alive.
You know that the workers actually don't make the cars, right? If you analyze the actual assembly line, you will notice that there are boy cars and girl cars, meaning that there are baby cars and also a cussy. You're right. This is all a fucking lie. This is all a fucking abject lie right in front of our fucking eyes, dude. It's actually Cars Cinematic Universe. Car 9/11 did happen. And Tow Mater's out there clapping fucking cheeks, dude.
Why shouldn't workers be entitled to what
Hasan would know if you watched the movie. I didn't, but I know about Tow Mater now.
they gave up 15 years ago, especially since GM is making record profits right now?
Well, first of all, this is a very cyclical business, and we've had a very strong run. I think part of that is because of the demand for the economy and what we've been through with unprecedented with COVID and semiconductor challenge.
Wait, what? Wait.
Especially since GM is making record profits right now.
Well,
COVID, chips, manufacturing.
first of all, this is a very cyclical business, and we've had a very strong run. I think part of that is because of the demand for the economy and what we've been through with unprecedented with COVID.
I'm doing a new thing where I put all my rings in one finger. I've decided that's what I'm going to do going forward. Swag. Sorry,
and
unrelated.
semiconductor challenges, but we have to remember we're a cyclical business. We also have to remember this is a pivotal point in the auto industry for everyone as we make this, 100-year transformation from internal combustion engine vehicles to electric vehicles. We need to make sure we.
Bro, she went back to fucking she went back to literally how we were just a fucking gas cloud or some shit. Like, she's like, and actually, well, here's how it happened. So first, we were in the water, okay? And then some of us decided to, go outside of the water and generate legs, okay? Let's start off in the beginning where cars were invented. We've gone the distance. And it's like, that is not the answer to the fucking question. What are you, a fucking Bethesda NPC? What the fuck is going on here? She literally is just, she's talking about how she was there. Like, she's acting like she invented the wheel. You know what I mean? She was like, well, first of all, when we invented the wheel, okay, a lot of people in the other tribe were like, we want that fucking wheel. And we were like, no, actually, I invented the wheel. I'm going to make sure that I invent this not to advance humanity by any meaningful capacity, but instead because I want to fucking sell it to you, okay? I want to make profits.
Could invest in both to maintain the jobs that we have. And I think if you look at many aspects of the agreement, it is getting at the specific issues of some of the different challenges in different ways, because no compensation system, I think, anywhere is the same as it was 15, 20 years ago. So we have to look at where we.
Yeah, that's the problem, dude. That's the problem. Yeah, dude. We talked about this the other day. Okay, we talked about this the other day when I retweeted this tweet where it was like Noam Chomsky absolutely banged when he mentioned that like capital owners are so incredibly Marxist. Like, their understanding is certainly Marxist in nature. It's just like the inverse of Marxism in the sense that they are defending it from the perspective. Here, this is what it was, right? Chomsky was really popping off when he said that everything the ruling class communicates in private is just Marxism, but with the values reversed. Which is so true, because like she quite literally is demonstrating that. She's like, well, our compensation has changed over the course of the past 20 years. It's like, well, yeah, that's the problem. That's the issue. You're describing the issue.
We have to look at the future. And at General Motors, we want to recognize the hard work of our manufacturing employees. We have a historic deal on the table over the best economics in over 115 years. And that's what we have on the table. We want to, finish the negotiations, problem solve, and get people back to work.
I spoke to your counterpart, Jim Farley, CEO of Ford, and he said that if Ford meets all of the demands that the union has, that Ford would go bankrupt. Is that the same case for General Motors?
When you look at the original demands, they totaled over $100 billion. That's more by quite a factor than we've made over the life of this agreement, and frankly, more than almost double the market cap of the company right now. So that's why we have to have a realistic offer. We want to make sure we reward the hardworking men and women of General Motors and the work they do every day, and we think that's what we have on the table.
But is that bankruptcy level demands?
Well, if you, if you're.
This is such a stupid argument, okay? Whenever these guys are like, well, we'd be bankrupt if we did that. Like, no, you wouldn't. Because you know who would not want you to be bankrupt? The fucking workers, dumbass. Like, the idea that, like, they would be bankrupt if they met the demands of their own workers is a classic fucking lie told by bosses every time contract negotiations are happening. It's like you have record profits. They want a piece of that because they generated those record profits. That's it. That's it. Oh, sorry.
Bankruptcy level demands.
Well, if if you're asking for more than the company made, I think that's not a good position.
So Sean Fain has obviously made some ambitious demands on the companies. There's no question about that. Do you believe that Sean Fain is setting his members up for disappointment in the end?
I think that's a question that you should probably talk to Sean Fain. I think there's many of our employees who really understand the reality of the situation. I think they'll see this is a record agreement when we look at the gross wage increases, when we look at where we are in healthcare, when we look.
Ugh, I hate that. It's always like the healthcare part of the conversation. It's like, it's so fucking gross. It's so gross. It's literally, oh God. I hate every aspect of this conversation. It's like, look, your benefits are increasing because like we're spending more on your fucking healthcare. And it's like, that shouldn't be the case. That should not be the case. God.
Look at the additional benefits that we've added as a part of this very, very strong offer that sits on the table. I think they're going to understand that because they also, and I visit a lot of plants. I'm in 1 to 2 plants every month, and I've been doing that for years. So when I talk to employees and I listen to them, they want to know that their facility is getting a new product. And to get a new product, we have to have the money to design, engineer, and install all the tooling and equipment to do that. And so it's important, and I think they understand you need to do both. They want to make sure General Motors is here for the next 115 years just as much as I do. And I think everybody needs to understand that and get serious, get to the table. We have a strong agreement. Like I said, it's a record agreement. I think we're in a good position to get this done.
Just quickly, last question. You spoke to President Biden yesterday. What was that conversation?
So I've been speaking to many members of Congress and the administration, and I'm going to continue to give them an update. I'm going to continue to make sure they know we have a strong offer. We're negotiating in good faith, and we have since July 18th when the negotiations started. We've been given over 1,000 demands, and we have to talk about each and every one of those. So we're doing the work. We want to get people back to work. Again, I think we have the best manufacturing team on the field right now, and we're at an exciting juncture. We need to get people back to work so we can maintain our GM momentum and win and keep our position
back to
of
work,
selling
bitch.
more vehicles in this country than anyone else. And we think we can grow with the EV portfolio we have on top of our internal combustion engine. So, we're going to keep keeping everybody up to speed. But the most important